Good afternoon, students. In previous video, we discussed about the election and the need and importance of election. Today we discuss that what makes an election democratic. We discussed about our election commission, which was set up by the Indian government on 25th of Jan 1950. The main work of our election commission to conduct free and fair election in India. So the first topic, that what makes an election democratic, which are the factors which played a crucial role for making the election system democratic. Both democratic and non-democratic regimes hold some sort of elections. Several conditions are required to make an election democratic. There are elections which are held in India or in Pakistan. Both countries has elections procedure, but the main difference between the two countries, that one country is the true democracy, that is India, and Pakistan is not a true democratic country because in Pakistan there is always a pressure over the government of army. Army played a role in the formation of the government in Pakistan. So the election does not approve that a country is a democratic or not. So what are the factors which make an election democratic? The first one is that every citizen should have the right to choose on the basis of one person, one vote and one value. It means that every individual has a role in the formation of government. There is political equality, that each vote has one value. There should be existence of political parties and people should have a choice to elect representatives. In China, in communist country China, there is only one party system. So people they have no choice to choose other representative or other political party. So multi-party system is also make the election system democratic. Election must be held periodically, like in India that our general elections are held after every 5 years. Candidates preferred by people should get elected, and election should be held in a free and fair manner. It means that there is no bribe used by the candidate during the election time. Code of conduct which is prepared by the election commission must be followed by each and every political party. So these are some essential conditions in which any election make a democratic election. So we are discussing about the election and democracy. So the above mentioned points raise two questions. Which are the two questions? The first question, that is democracy possible without the holding of election? Yes, according to me, yeah, it is possible that democracy may be possible without the holding of election. How? Just let us start with a short discussion. In the world, there are two types of democracy. One is direct democracy and one is indirect democracy. Today at present time in our country India, there is indirect democracy. So what is the basic difference between the direct and the indirect democracy? In direct democracy, people participate directly in the decision making process, but in direct democracy, people choose their representative and those representatives make policies and make law on the behalf of the people. So let us discuss one by one. So the first question which is raised here, that is democracy possible without holding of election? For a democracy, representation is essential. All citizens cannot participate in the decision making process. Why? Because of a large population. Hence people elect their representatives who take decision on their behalf. This is representative democracy. Thus elections are quite significant for a democracy. In India too, elections are the most visible symbol of the process of democracy. But in ancient time, we had a direct democracy in India. In a direct democracy, citizens participate directly in the decision making process. This system existed in ancient Greek city states and in India at the level of village panchayat. This type of democracy, however, is not possible in the modern democracies because of the large population, because all the people are not educated, because all the people they do not have interest. It is not physical possible to gather the lakhs and crores of people at one place and take the decisions. But in the ancient Greek, the city states, the people they get together and make decision for the country. So in modern time, more than 140 countries adopted representative democratic system. So this is the question and the answer is very simple. Yes, democracy is possible without holding of election, but at present time it is not possible due to the large population. So next question is the holding of election possible without having democracy? First of all, I want to tell you that every election is not proof that a country is a democratic country. Let us, if we recall the chapters of 9th class, then we discussed about JANU PF party, which is a political party in Zimbabwe, and Robert Mugabe won every presidential election in Zimbabwe because every time election was manipulated by the ruling party. So let us start that all elections are not democratic. There are many non-democratic countries which hold election to present themselves as democratic, but they hold the election in such a manner that it does not threaten their rule. One such example is Pakistan, where General Pervez Musharraf became the chief executive of Pakistan as well as the Army General of Pakistan at the same time. There was no election, there was a referendum which was fake and increased the tenure of the president for again 5 years. Always there is a role of army in the formation of government, and even after the independence of Pakistan, no single government could completed its tenure of 5 years. So every short of election is not proof that a country is a democratic country. So students, today we discuss about that what are the conditions which makes an election democratic. Why can we call that India has a democratic election? First of all, that political equality. Second, the independent election commission which conduct elections in our country in free and fair manner. Next, periodically election, that elections are held for our general like Lok Sabha, like the state assembly after every 5 years, and for the panchayat also after every 5 years. So we can call that elections which are held in our country India, that is a democratic election. Next we discuss that the India country is different from like Pakistan and China. China has one party system, India has multi-party system. Indians, they have a greater choice to choose the different candidates from the different political parties. So there are various aspects on which we can say that India is a true democratic country when we compare India with the different countries of the world. Thank you and have a nice day.